The flickering candlelight cast long, dancing shadows across the room, barely illuminating the scene. It was a cold night, the kind that seeps into your bones, making the silence of the house even more profound. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a story of shadows, secrets, and murders that, for a time, seemed almost perfect. These were not your typical gruesome tales. These were crimes of cunning, meticulously planned, that almost slipped through justice. Our story begins with a series of unrelated events. A wealthy art collector found dead in his locked study. No signs of forced entry, poison in his system. Then, a prominent businessman, discovered in his penthouse. An apparent suicide, yet something felt off. Finally, a reclusive author, found lifeless in her isolated cabin. The cause of death initially deemed natural. Each case shared a disturbing thread. The victims seemed to have met their end in ways that defied immediate explanation. There were no witnesses, no apparent motives, just a growing unease that settled over the investigators. The initial investigations were frustrating. The crime scenes were pristine. There were no overlooked clues, no stray hairs, no fingerprints out of place. It was as if the perpetrator was a phantom. The detectives found themselves grappling with an opponent who anticipated their every move. The victims, on the surface, had nothing in common. But as the investigation deepened, subtle connections began to surface. The breakthrough came with an overlooked detail, a seemingly insignificant piece of evidence. A peculiar type of rare ink was used in correspondence found at one of the crime scenes. That ink led the investigators down a rabbit hole of forgery, deception, and a twisted game. This led to a person who had the means, the knowledge, and the chilling audacity to commit these perfect crimes. Someone whose life was dedicated to crafting illusions, whose mastery of deception was breathtaking. But what was the motive? As the truth emerged, the investigators discovered a web of deceit, a plot so cunning it sent shivers down their spines. In the end, even the most meticulous plans can unravel, and cracks appear. The cracks led to an undeniable conclusion. The perfect crime was not so perfect after all. The perpetrator faced the consequences. But the chilling realization lingered: the human capacity for darkness, for deception, and for the creation of flawless facades should always instill dread. As the candle burns lower, I hope you understand the unsettling truth: perfection is an illusion, and the shadows always hide a secret.